If you're building directories and you're not using AI to both maximize the capabilities of the directory and save time on your end, then you're doing something wrong. In this video, Daniel Levy joins me to show us how he vibe coded a dynamic local directory that parses both calendar feeds and a Telegram channel all into one good-looking directory. All of it was created with AI, vibe coded, prototyped, everything. And he's going to walk us through how he did it in this video. If you're an online builder and you're not using agentic AI, as you know you need to, you're going to want to watch this because it's going to show you a lot of techniques for speeding up your process to build better, faster, smarter. So let's get started. Today I have Daniel Levy with me here. He's going to show us BigIslandBulletin.com, which is a local events aggregator. I like to call it a dynamic local directory for the Big Island of Hawaii. And he vibe coded this whole thing. I've personally watched a few different iterations of this. It's not only parsing different calendar feeds, but it's also listening to a Telegram channel where events are being posted. And overall, it's just a really cool project. I think it's really just a really cool idea for local communities anywhere. So hopefully this interview can inspire you to build something in your own community. So let's get started. Daniel, can you first share with me what gave you this, maybe not the inspiration, maybe that's obvious, but what gave you the idea to build the bulletin in such a way as you did?
Well, we have a thriving Telegram group with about 3,000 members. And, you know, people post events on there, people post the marketplace, there's a chat room, right? And it's really just a hub, an important hub and resource for our community. But it's really chaotic, right? You go on there.
Telegram groups are chaos.
And it's like, oh, what's happening tonight in our community? You go on there and you know what? You just like scroll through this thing for 20 minutes to see if there's an event happening. So for me, I was just like, how do I make this a better resource? So really it was like, okay, well, why don't I like parse it to a website and use, you know, some simple AI tools to, sort, somebody posts an event flyer and I just pull the, the date and the time and the price and where it's at and put that into like an event calendar on a website. So yeah, that didn't take me that long. I set that up a while ago and just simple Telegram bot an event parser. And then I was like, oh, how do I make this even better? Right. It's like, so I set it up to create user customizable ICS or like calendar files. So,
okay.
So basically,
can you pull it up and show us?
Yeah.
What I wanted to say was, well, I had a question. So you said someone posted an event flyer. So did you use like a vision model, a model that had vision so it could actually parse the image itself, or do you pull it from the text?
Well, actually, originally I did OCR. So I was trying to use as minimal API calls as I can. So this is just like OCR and using regex, regular expressions. It's like look for dates, look for I'll say not super reliable, but
LLMs are
yeah. But using a vision model, I'm using a ChatGPT, and it's pretty flawless, honestly. And it adds categories for each post. It creates some like metadata, for the event page for each post. Creates like Google schema, event schema, and Facebook. They both have a specific schema that you can set up for events. So it does all of that. It pulls and it formats it all nice, and I don't know. Yeah.
So, okay. So show us an event.
Sure. Okay. So I have, Big Island Bulletin open. This is our landing page. I'll just show you our landing page just to show off a little bit. And I'll say, this is all, vibe coded. So we got some featured events.
I really love the design and the colors, and Yeah. How did you come up with that?
Well, I used Gemini, their new Nano Banana. I used Gemini's Nano Banana, and basically just told it what I wanted and said create a landing page for this, some landing page mockups. And I just went through one at a time. It's like, oh, I like this one. Make it more like this. Oh, I like this one. Make it more like this. Actually, you know what I used? I used Google's new product called Stitch. Have you used Stitch yet?
Stitch. I've never even heard of it.
Stitch is just came out. Uses Nano Banana, and it's specifically for making website mockups. Stitch.google. Or maybe it's under Labs. You might have to do labs.google and go to Stitch from there. But amazing. That was my first time using Stitch. It was like, oh, this is cool. Let me try it for my new project. Right?
So Nano Banana does the mock-up, and then you use a tool like Stitch to turn it into actual
Stitch
code.
Stitch uses Nano Banana.
Oh, so it just does all of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stitch
wow.
uses
Okay.
all of it.
All right. Google.
But actually, when I'm not paying for Gemini right now. So once I got a mock-up that I kind of was mostly there, then I have like a Nano Banana API browser, that lets me do a pay per call, calls to Nano Banana's API.
Right.
So
Yeah, so then you only have to use it for when you need it instead of $20 a month or whatever.
exactly. Yeah. So that's another tool I created here. I can show you that too.
Yeah, that's why I've been so into Venice AI lately, because now all these models are just there. I only have to pay Venice. And
That's right. Yeah, you can just pay
Nano
for the API
Banana,
calls. You don't
Viator
have to do
3.1.
you don't have to do monthly. And this is on the web, but it's just for my access because it's got my API key in it. But it is open source actually on my GitHub. So
Oh,
can
yeah, we
download
should get
it.
the link to that. Okay, so you pop in your
enter
API
your own
key
API key there, and
for Google.
yeah, you can just go. I've been using it a lot for infographics. Nano Banana is really fun for infographics. But you just go through here, click landing page.
You've productized Nano Banana for yourself, but it's not. Yeah, it looks like a SaaS right there, except it's for you,
Right.
And you have to enter.
Totally.
API
I mean,
key,
yeah,
obviously.
build your own apps for everything you need. It's like you don't need to
Yeah.
build something to make. I don't know. You don't need to make a product for somebody else. Honestly, in the next couple of years, I think all apps are just going to be custom just for you. It's like I need to do this, so your computer will just create an app for you to do that thing, and you do that thing. But yeah, you can create a SaaS landing page pretty easily, right?
Did you use Gemini for this Portal AI?
This all uses Nano Banana Gemini. Yeah.
But did you vibe code it with Google or ChatGPT or?
I don't remember. I usually switch between things. I usually use Opus, actually.
Oh, you've been to Opus lately?
Yeah, Opus 4.5. I don't know.
Winner.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty awesome, right? But
So now whenever you need an image, you just come here to your own vibe coded front end.
here, I'm like, all right, here I go. Landing page. Create a landing page for a local directory of, I don't know, vibe coders. There, and then that'll, yeah. Oh, and
So what's interesting though is, except for like the generate multiple and the variations, like that's a little bit like API call specific, but otherwise you're putting all the specifications of the prompt like in the back end, so you don't have to say it, right?
Right.
So I want vertical, corporate, professional, website homepage as a directory for
yeah.
vibe
Corporate
coders.
professional.
Instead, you just click the box and then you just say local directory of vibe.
Exactly.
I mean,
And
you
it
didn't.
just creates
You didn't
the
even.
prompt, creates the prompt for me.
You didn't even need to say landing page because it's there. You could have
Right? Yeah. No. Yeah. You're right. I didn't have to say landing page.
Yeah. Right.
So let's see how
that's
these came
interesting.
out. Nano Banana is really fast, so this is already generating the third image.
Are you using Nano Banana or Nano Banana Pro?
Nano Banana Pro.
Yeah.
So,
incredible.
each of these images does cost 20 cents, something like that.
Yeah.
Banana
Yeah.
Pro is a little pricey right now, but
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure.
20 cents. That's how much it costs on Venice as well. It's 20 cents.
Yeah, Venice, I think it's parity with how much things cost. And
So they must not have an that they're not charging an overhead. That's interesting.
okay, so here we go.
Cool.
We got three nice landing page mock-ups, right?
That's a lot like the Vibe Builder's color scheme.
How did you how did you create your mock-ups?
I went through and I created that color scheme because I liked it. Maybe
yeah.
it's in the training now.
So these are all pretty cool, right? But basically,
It's
I
really
found
cool.
a mock-up I liked. Another trick I found too is instead of creating three separate variations, you can actually tell Nano Banana to create, like in one post, you say create 3 or create 4 variations.
Yeah.
And it'll create one image, so only 20 cents with 4 mock-ups on it. That's actually a better way to do it, honestly.
And then you tell it you like the top right one,
You just crop it. I just crop out the top right one. Yeah.
or you screenshot it and drag it into the stitch.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys, real quick, if there's one thing I've learned over the last 12 months of dedicating my life to learning AI, it's that most people start backwards. They start with the tools and hope for the best. But that's just drifting. In a sea of shiny AI objects out there, we need to learn how to navigate all this stuff. And that requires frameworks, that requires getting an understanding of how all this works, so you're not overwhelmed by all the options. So I put together a free 5-day sprint for you. It's a 5-day email course. You can binge it all at once if you want. And it'll give you the mental foundations for actually starting to build with AI effectively. So if that sounds like it could be helpful, check the link below. You'll end up at this page, pop in your name and email, and you'll get started right away. Hope to see you there. Now, back to the video. So then your process from here would be you download the one you like.
Download the one you like
Stitch.
and then throw it into Cursor.
Okay. You're
Yeah,
still using
here-
Cursor, huh?
Yeah, I use Cursor. Whatever you can use. What are the other ones? Windsurf or anti-gravity or
I do VS Code.
Google AI Studio, right? I use Cursor because I'm old school for a year. Things move fast. But yeah, I would basically just take this image, throw it into Cursor, and say, honestly, I best off to create like a PRD first. So I would in ChatGPT, I'd say create a PRD MD file for vibe coder directory, right?
Right.
Or in this case, advanced directory, right? So it'd create a really nice MD file. Let's see if I have a nice MD file I can demo. I think I have them under my docs right here. Let's see.
I like your wind chimes.
Oh, yeah. Always got the wind chime. Here we go. So, yeah, I got my styles, my style MD file, which has all my like styling ideas, how I want it, created by ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. They all do it the same. I just have too many memberships, honestly. But
Yeah.
and then I
So
got
that's in Cursor.
yeah. This
And so you don't just build all that style stuff inside of Cursor. You go over to ChatGPT.
I don't know why I do that.
No, I've found that an interesting part of my workflow as well, because I've just gotten into and even in the new courses on the AI Captain School, I'm really getting into just building a knowledge base for every project, every client, AI Captains, whatever it is. And then when I need something, I just put it into the agent and then it checks the knowledge base and the files, and then it knows what to do. But there's still certain things that I just feel like it's just easier to just go to Claude Desktop and just go to the chat window and just say, hey, I need this real quick. And
think
I
that's
found
what
that
it
an
is for
interesting,
me.
like,
Yeah, I have
resistance.
ChatGPT installed on my computer. I just do Option spacebar and type what I want, and it just
Yeah. Or say what you want.
exactly. So I think it's just
Yeah.
convenience in my head right now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's psychological completely. Yeah. It's an interesting phenomenon.
But one trick, it's like what is it? Cursor doesn't generate photos, right? It doesn't generate images. So that's like a major kind of like block for a lot of people. Or it was for me in the beginning. So what I did, I just created this I created a Python file, right? So, and it's just axis is whatever. And actually, I use Gemini Nano Banana for the mockup, but I still use OpenAI to generate photos, images for my website. That's because, even though Nano Banana is fast and really good with words, and I don't know, it's really amazing, Nano Banana. It doesn't do transparent PNG files.
None of them do.
No, OpenAI.
It can do transparency?
Oh, yeah. ChatGPT Image 1 does great.
So you have a Python script to do that?
Yeah, so I have a Python script, and it's just I just keep it in my dev folder. It's called Generate Single Image, right? And I actually have an env file, environmental file, just for that Python script. So the rest of the app is Next.js. I just have this one Python script, and as I'm saying, create this website. Basically, I'll say, I'll put the image into Cursor, right? The mockup image, and I put the PRD, and I say any images, background elements, or icons you need for this site, use this script.
Right.
And it just, boom, goes right for it. Gives me a folder of generated images, icons, background, flare, elements, all that stuff. It just generates all of it. And sometimes I'll just redo the whole site a couple times, all the images.
So do you just mention that script in your prompt?
In my
prompt. Do you have it in a cursor?
In my cursor prompt. Depending on what model you're using, some of the models don't pick it up, but Opus does great.
Yeah. Let me share with you something real quick. It's cool to see how people do this. I'll share with my screen real quick. This is what I've recently had to figure out, because I was like having the same problem, right? I'm like, I need to be able to generate images on VS Code, and I use Cloud Code with VS Code. So what I'm doing is like, here's my Claude Code, right? Or VS Code, Claude Code over here. And then in my Claude Code, it says you have access to an image generation API via N8N Webhook. So literally Claude Code, whenever it needs an image, it has all the image style guide, the brand DNA, right here in its Claude MD. So it knows like the style of the image. And whenever it needs an image, it calls this webhook to N8N.
Oh, okay.
And then N8N will literally just generate the image for me for Claude Code
API
and
to
send
do
it
it.
back.
That's a great idea. That sounds even easier.
And then next level, Daniel, when I need a video, then it takes that image and then sends that to turn the image into a video. So I have Claude Code automated to make videos now, and it's like a total game changer.
Right?
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't dove into N8N yet, but I'm looking forward to having the opportunity to. That's for sure. Yeah. Well,
a Python script will do. In some ways, the Python scripts are easier because you can vibe code them like right out the gate.
It's local too. I don't know, but for videos, I mean. Yeah, I guess I do videos in a different way. I know you're like actually generating videos. I'm
trying to automate like full storyboards, because then Claude Code can help me write the whole script inside of VS Code, create the storyboard file, all the prompts, the image prompts and the video prompts, and then if I can just give it permission to do it, I'm like, that would be a game changer. So you have Cursor generating images. So after you use Stitch for the mockup, for the prototype, do you bring that into Cursor to keep refining it, or do you refine it on Stitch?
Refine it on Stitch. Yeah, refine.
It's all on Stitch.
Yeah, refine the mockup on Stitch. Or on, I ran out of credits pretty quick on Stitch though. So again, I brought it over to the pay-per-call API browser that I made.
Right.
Which is honestly, it's pretty much the same thing as Stitch, but
so let's run through this.
Open. All right.
Yeah. All right. So it's a beautiful design. We've gone through the design.
you.
We've gone through how you made the landing page. Yeah, I think it's one of the cleanest vibe coded sites I've ever seen.
Wow. Hey.
No, it's just well because a lot of vibe coded sites just look very default. They just have that Vercel look.
Yeah.
Which I see you have the
You got to
Vercel
use a
fave
mockup.
icon.
You got to use like a mockup you really like and fine tune it. That takes,
Yeah.
I mean, oftentimes the longest, just like fine tuning your mockup and getting it where you want, getting it looking really cool.
Yeah, and just having a style guide too. Like, what's the vibe I want to create here? So then you have a total feed here with everything going on, like all over the Big Island.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you got the moon phase. That's cool.
Yeah,
Tribute
it's
to
just like,
Hawaiian culture.
yeah, add a little bit of Hawaiian culture. I thought that was fun.
That's awesome. So you've got, where does that pull from? Like a JSON file or a database?
I just created it. I don't know.
But it
Created.
knows, like, it's
Use-
got something for every night. It's somewhere.
Yeah, every
Data for the
day
moon.
has different moons. So
That's awesome.
yeah, Hawaiian
so we got all
culture
the-
has different names for the moons, and that's like how they keep
Every
track of
night.
the months. So
Yeah.
I just incorporate that, add a little bit of culture, and education.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then we got a map.
Yeah.
Okay, so we could go, let's see. It's over here in Kona. Cool. Beautiful. And directory front ends are not always easy to make. So you did a good job here. How long did this take you? Do you remember?
I spent 2 days. So
2 days?
I don't know. Maybe 20 hours. So
And this is cool too, up here.
right?
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about where all the resources come from in this directory. So you have an ICS feed that someone else could download or bring it into their calendar,
Right.
but you're also parsing other ones, right?
That's right. Yeah, I created an ICS parser. So like just on, like on Google Cal or whatever, you can subscribe to ICS feeds. My event calendar can also do that. So,
Okay.
and if users include links to an image file on their ICS feed, it'll also parse that image and add it as a featured image. Otherwise, it will use a default image for that specific ICS feed. So yeah, basically I'm parsing ICS feeds and I'm parsing posts from Telegram.
Right. And so then the Telegram, that you got a Telegram bot, and then where do all the events, they end up in a database somewhere?
Yep. Yeah, I'm just using PocketBase, which is like a really
yeah.
simple to host database. I have a server I run and just easy to install PocketBase, easy to run. That's another thing though that I had to create a Python or actually it's a Next.js script, but I have a Node script that can add schema and they call them collections to my database. It's like, oh, you're adding a new section. I should include that in my MD file though, like you did, because it seems like I have to tell it every time. It's like, use the script to add the schema. It's like, oh, the schema's not in the database yet. It's like, use the script to add it. I have to tell it every time. Use
It's annoying, huh?
to add it. Yeah. So I should add the PocketBase schema script to the database, to my MD file. I think that would help.
This is really cool. So have you thought about expanding to all the Hawaiian Islands?
Not yet. Stick to
And
the
do you
Big Island for now. But
And do you have plans for monetizing this with like featured posts? or something
yeah,
like
so as you can see, you can already do featured posts. I don't have
Right here,
anything automated where you can like pay online to have it featured. It's more of a contact me or reach out or let's make a deal kind of thing with me personally to do it. I also set up, it's called, I think Viator is, we got a little guest. This is Boba. We got, I use Viator is the TripAdvisor affiliate program. So if you go over to activities, the activities page,
Yeah.
yeah, you want to click that. So these are all affiliate links so you can purchase one of these. I get, I don't know, 10% or something if I make a sale.
Viator.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And those are incorporated into the maps. I have them on event pages. Trying to make them not too invasive, and also letting people know that they are all from Viator and that they're that their affiliate things are not coming from our community.
So like activities and events are different.
That's right.
Right.
But they're all on the map.
But they're all on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I'll say I had to, I use their API to pull these, but I have to add locations to them, which, just simple thing, not that big a deal, using the title and using OpenAI. I just like...
Oh, so you're not doing it manually?
No. I'm not doing it.
Okay. Well, because some of these too look like they go around the island.
Right. So it just has a general location just to have it on the map, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I'll say too, I give them a different icon. You can filter them out on the map. It's like, really, this is a community hub. I want to keep it that way. I don't want it. It's not like, crazy commercial thing. I want to keep it local centric. I want to keep it community centric. Really around.
How do I filter? Oh, I can just toggle that off.
Yep. There you go.
Okay.
And you can also toggle off external links and just see things posted on Telegram, for example, under all sources.
All sources, just Telegram.
Yeah. There you
okay.
go. So now
So this is stuff that wasn't in a feed somewhere.
Right. This isn't from some feed somewhere. This is just stuff that's posted on our local, Telegram group.
Right. Oh, it just takes me to this feed. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. I've always thought, I tried and I failed. I wanted to make a directory out of what people were talking about in the Vibe Builders Discord. Not that there's a ton of conversation, but there was a lot more a few months ago. And I just thought it'd be a cool directory where whatever people are talking about, resources they're sharing, then it just adds to the directory. Mm-hmm. But, 6 months ago, it's crazy how far we've come. In 6 months.
My God.
Now I see what you're doing. I'm like, oh, cool. I wish I was still making directories because I feel like my ideas were possible now. It's like, yeah. Okay, so then you build it all, and then you're deploying on Vercel.
Yep.
It looks like. I see the fave icon. Got it.
Oh, no.
Fix that.
They have the wrong fave icon?
It's got the Vercel fave icon, the classic.
I updated that. That's kind of weird.
No, it's still in the cache or something.
Yeah, maybe it's still in your cache. Do a hard refresh.
And PocketBase is the database, and then this is a Next.js project?
Yep.
Yeah, cool, man. Anything else to share about it?
Yeah, hey, come check it out, bigislandbulletin.com. If you're in Hawaii, subscribe, join our Telegram group.
Yeah, anything else? I guess conclusions or tips you would want to give other vibe coders that are trying to make stuff like this? Because not everyone gets the results you do. This is really clean, really polished, really functional.
Use a mockup.
Use a mockup.
Because otherwise, it just doesn't know what you want. It doesn't know what you're doing.
And then how connecting your front end to your back end via the mockup, what was that like?
Cursor just did it all. Yeah, Cursor took care of it all.
Handled it.
I'll say if you can avoid using a database, don't use a database. And this is this is a directory site. It requires a database, right? But if you're doing a simple site, if you can avoid a database, avoid a database. But I don't know. Just try it, make stuff. I mean, this is my second version of it. My first one was also vibe coded. I did it in PHP because that's what I had always built in is PHP before. But in the I did that a year ago. Now I'm like, Next.js. It's just like AI just works with Next.js so easily. And you tell it to do something. It's like, I'll say I do screenshots, something I want to change. I take a screenshot of what's wrong. If I have a visual of how I want it to look, I take a screenshot of that. So pretty much every time I ask it to do something, I first make a plan and then I execute it instead of just running the agent. And I try and include a screenshot. Screenshots seem to make a big difference, I think. Let's see, if you're running into issues, always include the error log. I think most vibe coders are finding that. Copy paste all your error logs, get a screenshot, make a plan.
Yeah, top pro tips here if you're having trouble vibe coding. Yeah, screenshots are super important. And also why it's important to be using a good model that can read those screenshots well, like Opus.
Right. And Grok is supposed to be a really good coding model, but it doesn't have a vision model. So it doesn't, their API doesn't capture what the images. So that was like a quick, I can't really use this kind of thing.
Yeah, like a 1 million token context window. It's fast, it's cheap, but it doesn't have vision.
Opus 4.5, the bomb. I try and use Composer for simple things. Composer is Cursor's own LLM, and it's just cheap. It's like included in their subscription. But
is it any good?
No, but it's good for simple stuff, CSS stuff, or simple layout changes. Don't do it for structural stuff. Use like a more advanced model for most things. But it sounds like I got to switch over to VS Code or maybe I've been hearing cross things about anti-gravity, but I just have too many subscriptions right now. I'm thinking I might move over to doing just OpenAI and Gemini is kind of what I'm hoping will work. I have like.
What about Opus?
Oh yeah, maybe Opus. I'm hearing Gemini 3 is really amazing for coding. I just don't have a membership, so I don't use it.
Well, thanks for joining me. This was really enlightening, and I think a lot of people are going to get super inspired.
Yeah, thanks so much, Jordan. Yeah, I'm excited to be part of this community.
Thanks for watching, everyone. You can get a hold of Daniel. There's a link below. You can see this directory in action. And if you're interested in supercharging your online building, make sure to subscribe to this channel because that's what we do around here. So thanks. I'll see you soon.